Off camera I made a box lid, as you can see here, and the embellishments are created by basically two drill types, brad point drill and Forstner bits, and with those two drill types I get quite a comprehensive range of effects for embellishing the lid. I'm just indicating the process of the cuts on the big lathe, but I will be demonstrating the cuts themselves on the small lathe using my indexing jig, which I will put a link to in the description of this video. For my convenience, I've made the spigot of the lid that goes inside a box I made off camera, which suits the diameter of the jaws, so I don't distort the spigot or the tenon through the jaw pressures. I'm using a 10mm diameter bush out of the set of the Axminster drill guide system, which I don't think Axminster sell it anymore, but you can get it on eBay. Right, let's start experimenting. I'm going to try this 10mm diameter brad point drill and see what sort of effect I can get at using it at an angle of approach to the box lid. The beauty of having a scale, as well as obvious convenience, is that I can record the settings that I've used if I've created an embellishment that I find quite attractive, so I can have some sort of database on different effects at different angles using different types of drills, either brad point drill, Forstner bit or a standard drill. Rather than using my fingers to remove some attached fibres, I just simply, because of the jig's easy to dismantle, I can just return it again and take off those fibres with a turning tool. I don't have to just apply the drills etc. onto a flat surface. I can create a convex or a concave surface to extenuate some of the effects created by the drill. So here I'm just creating a slight groove, which I'm going to put a normal twist drill into them to create the embellishments just in that recess that I'm turning. The beauty of the indexing system is I'm just not totally reliant on a fixed indexing system that often comes with the lathes. I can create my own discs with a computer printout and create obscure divisions. So yeah, the versatility again is increased to what you would normally get if you just use the indexing system that comes with your lathe. As you can see, I've changed over to a brad point drill, and the beauty of a brad point drill is the actual brad point itself can create an effect that is quite attractive, and you'll see that later on as I do a finalised lid at the end of this video. I can increase or decrease the depth of projection of the drill into the wood and make it consistent by simply producing a gap between the tip of the chuck in the cordless drill and the top of the metal bush that's in the tool post. Now I'm just going to emphasize the embellishments with a little bit of turning just to highlight the areas of change of the embellishments. It becomes quite effective, really. I'm using a natural bristle brush to remove some of the fibres. Don't use nylon, please, it'll melt against the wood. I've made a blank, another lid blank out of some pretty cheap pine, and I've painted it just so hoping that it'll help you see the cutting action, and it'll show the embellishments a bit more blatantly, if you like. It's just another experiment here to see what sort of effect. You can always practice on pine, of course, before you use more expensive woods for the lid, and record those, like I said earlier. If you record those drill positions, etc., and reproduce them in more expensive woods, you save yourself a lot of trouble. I didn't really give this embellishment I'm doing here much thought. The diameter of the Forstner bit is a bit too big, so the net result is I've just basically got a circle, which is a bit pointless. I could achieve that with a turning tool anyway, but this is the beauty of experimentation. You know what you can get away with and what you can't, and which is a waste of energy. I carried on, of course, and see if I could produce a bit of a hexagon in the centre of the blank made by the Forstner bit. It wasn't too bad, but it wasn't really defined enough to make it visible without closer inspection. You're not, of course, confined to producing embellishments on the face of the lid. You can also do it on its circumference. You can use smaller bits and large bits of fasteners to create a pseudo gear teeth if you wish. It's up to your imagination, and this is the enjoyment that I'm getting off quite a simple setup. Here I'm introducing a slight modification. I've put a clamp, which means I can position the banjo, the tool rest banjo, on the bed of the lathe in fixed positions. So again, I've got repeatability, and I've put a scale on this stop so that I can position the banjo at different dimensions away from the centre of the lathe. So again, it all helps for precision and repeatability, which is essential in a way, unless you want to make unique items and you want to mess around, which can be a bit wasteful on wood. So it's better to do things on scrap wood, record the settings and repeat them on more expensive timbers. Here I've got some Iroko timber in the lathe. I think it's Iroko. It's quite a dark wood, but it leaves a nice finish. And I'm just going to do a finalised, finished version of the lids and see what I come up with. I'm creating a slightly convex surface, curved surface, which again will create the versatility of any embellishments I'm going to put into it. I'm changing a disc for divisions in multiples of 7 and see what sort of effect I can get. If you've noticed, I've introduced a screw into the tool post to screw against the metal bush inside it. Over time you will get the wood wearing, and you don't want too much play between the drill and the bush, and certainly not the bush and the wooden tool post. So I've introduced this screw to tighten it up, which reduces the amount of movements, unwanted movements of the drill, so that I get a consistent pattern. The position of the drill in the drill chuck of the cordless drill is a bit limited, and often the position of the drill in the drill chuck isn't satisfactory, so I've introduced some tape to give me a depth of cut of the drill so that it's consistent through the divisions. Well, I'm happy with my embellishment. I'll just emphasise them with a little bit of a groove either side of the diameters of the embellishment, which just extenuates their appearance. Now it's a case of 1 quart of sanding sealer and 1 quart of polyurethane varnish. I don't want more than 1 quart because polyurethane can make it a bit over glossy, and all of a sudden you've got plastic looking wood, which is what I'm not a great fan of. As you can see, the brad point of the brad drill has created a nice little effect similar to Christmas trees. Well, that's it for another video. Thanks again for watching. I hope it inspires you to make your own tool post and your own indexing jig. All the best to you all. Bye.